him going through episodes before we were married, and I was like, man, somebody got to help this guy. It was really, really bad. It's really sad because you're seeing someone you don't
personally.
I take his apps off his phone. First thing I do, I delete Instagram. I delete everything. Even if I got to change his password, I'm changing it because I don't need the public to know he's having an episode.
It's almost like it's a psychosis, you know what I'm saying? It's not, you dealing with stuff like you hearing voices.
Yeah, they have voices.
And you hearing.
It's looking like Nicki's getting painted as the villain again. But this time, she might have actually dropped a bomb. She straight up called out Gucci Mane's wife, Keyshia Ka'oir, and didn't hold back one bit. Nicki accused her of keeping Gucci sedated, and the way she said it, it sounded less like gossip and more like a full-blown exposé. Fans instantly started connecting the dots, claiming that Gucci's not really running his own show anymore, that Keyshia's pulling every string behind the scenes, maybe even controlling him through more than just love. But that's not even the wildest part. Once people lined up Nicki's tweets with Gucci's past interviews about his mental health and all that Brick Squad drama, the whole thing started looking dark, like, this ain't just relationship talk, it's power and control wrapped in luxury and loyalty. The marriage the internet praises as goals might be hiding some real chaos behind those designer curtains. It all traces back to when Gucci and Keyshia went on The Breakfast Club to promote his memoir. Everything seemed smooth, until Keyshia casually dropped a line that stopped everyone in their tracks. She said, "I have a system. I delete Instagram, I delete Twitter, I control everything at home." Boom! That one quote lit social media on fire. Just hours later, Nicki went off on X, posting, "Gucci's wife been trying to be me for years, been dying for the spotlight for years. She's there to keep Gucci sedated. Don't she hates Deborah Nay? They don't want Deborah around me, she's around me now," and that's when things really exploded. Nicki wasn't holding back. She went full scorched earth. She blasted Charlemagne, calling him a fraud, and accusing him of using his power at iHeartRadio to push shady narratives against innocent families. She dragged him for being tight with Jay-Z and even brought up how he was around Wendy Williams before her life went to hell. Then she dropped the line that had everyone talking. "The buck stops here, baby." Bookmark this tweet. That's when people realized this wasn't just another celebrity feud. Nicki was coming for reputations, careers, and marriages all at once. She doubled down too, tagging LAPD saying, "Where's the evidence of my home being swatted 4 times with a toddler inside? Guns drawn. Republic Records, stand up for me." You could feel the rage in every word. It wasn't just drama anymore. It felt like war. Nicki wasn't just mad at Gucci's wife. She was firing at everyone she believed enabled the situation. By the next morning, Keyshia Ka'oir had clearly had enough. She jumped on Instagram, vibing to Cardi B's music right after Nicki's rant, and fans instantly caught the shade. It felt like a message loud and clear. She was siding with Cardi just to spite Nicki. One fan even commented, "Nah, this ain't just petty, it's a declaration." But instead of things cooling down, the situation exploded when gossip blogger Tasha K jumped into the mix. She posted, "Word on the curb is Gucci wanted to mess with Nicki, but she wasn't having that yuck mouth energy. So here come Keyshia, fixed his teeth, flipped his money, put that man on prescription meds, and turned him into a Nicki clone."
Y'all know allegedly Gucci's wife, while he was locked up, slept with Yo Gotti, right? Allegedly. That's why he cussed out Angela Yee. I don't know if y'all noticed. By the way, Gucci, I love you so much. Like, don't ever diss me. I love you, bro. But
the comment section went crazy. Some people laughed it off as wild gossip, but others swore that Waka Flocka had hinted at something like this years ago. The whole internet was divided, and Nicki's shots had officially turned into an all-out digital battlefield. People been saying it for years. Keyshia's the handler. But this is where things start getting real eerie. Because Gucci Mane himself admitted in his own memoir that Keyshia once had him committed. Yeah, he said she kidnapped him with 6 of his own bodyguards and took him straight to a mental hospital. Gucci framed it as love, said she saved his life. But once fans replayed that interview, that one word, kidnapped, hit way different. Then when you add in how Keyshia bragged about deleting his accounts, changing passwords, and controlling everything at home, people started wondering if this was really love or manipulation dressed up as loyalty. It's wild. Even Waka Flocka spoke on this back in the day. After Brick Squad fell apart, he went off on Twitter saying he never got paid for no hands. Y'all remember that song, "Girl, the way you movin', got me in a trance"? That one. He accused Gucci of switching up, saying, "Gucci ain't running Atlanta no more. He changed after that girl came around." At the time, people thought Waka was just being salty. But now, after Nicki's recent posts, fans are dragging those old clips back up, saying, Waka was right. Some even think Keyshia might have purposely cut Gucci off from Deb Antony and Nikki, two women who always kept him grounded. And when you line it all up, the forced hospital stay, the deleted accounts, the meds, and that controlling quote from The Breakfast Club, it starts to sound like something straight out of a psychological thriller, not a fairy tale love story. And Nicki's choice of words, sedated, suddenly hits even harder after that. Because in that same interview, Keyshia literally admitted that she controls his medication. The whole thing's starting to feel like more than just celebrity drama. It's looking like control masked as care, and people can't stop talking about it. Keyshia said she catches his episodes before they happen, but the way she said it made the internet shiver. To a lot of people online, that didn't sound like love. It sounded like she's keeping Gucci under constant chemical watch. Even a few former love and hip-hop stars dropped anonymous comments like, "Gucci's energy been off ever since he got out, almost robotic." And that's when old clips of DJ Academics resurfaced, where he once claimed Keyshia cheated on Gucci with Yo Gotti while Gucci was in prison. Academics even tied it back to Gucci's old beef with Angela Yee and started asking if that rumor might have been the real reason behind their falling out. Fans started wondering, could Keyshia's whole "I control him" act just be her way of keeping the upper hand after those prison years? Then another wild twist hit the timeline when Rick Ross's ex, Tia Kemp, jumped in saying she personally saw Keyshia leaving with Ross in a Rolls Royce while Gucci was locked up. Tia swore, "I seen it with my own eyes. She had that blue lipstick, the mohawk, all that. She came to the house when Gucci was in jail and left with Ross." Keyshia clapped back fast, posting, "Ain't never had no dealings with Rick Ross. Period."
With my own eyes, when she was wearing that blue lipstick and mohawk and all that, when she came over there when Gucci was in jail, and she came to pick him up from the house.
Keep my name out your mix-up. But by then, the internet had already made up its mind. People started saying Keyshia's always had some kind of leverage over every man in her orbit, and that Gucci might just be the latest in a long pattern of power moves. Nicki wasn't letting up either. She kept dragging Charlemagne, calling him a Jay-Z associate, using iHeartRadio to push shady industry agendas. And if you've been keeping up with Nicki lately, she's been on a mission to expose everybody, from Cardi to Jay-Z, for allegedly being part of that secret industry system. So when she said Charlemagne was around Wendy before her life went to hell, fans immediately connected it to how Wendy's downfall started right after she began calling out names in Hollywood. At that point, Nicki wasn't just throwing shade, she was painting a full conspiracy. According to her, Keyshia wasn't just a jealous wife, she was another handler figure planted to keep one of Atlanta's most outspoken rappers quiet. One fan even tweeted, "I can't unsee Keyshia Kaware trying to be Nicki Minaj all along, knowing Gucci wanted Nicki but couldn't have her. That's real tea." Another fan went even deeper, saying, "Keyshia's definitely doing witchcraft on Gucci, bonding spells and everything. He's completely under her control spiritually. He might not survive if he ever leaves her." But not everyone's buying the dark narrative.
I apologize to Ross, Drake, Nikki, like all them people accepting my apology. They just don't know. It's like a weight off my shoulders because I was wrong.
Others came rushing to Keyshia's defense, saying, "If you know Keyshia, you know she don't play about Gucci, ever. She bathed that man. She nursed him back when nobody else would. You think she'd ever let him stay in an unsafe mental space?" The whole thing has the internet split. Some calling it manipulation, others calling it unconditional loyalty. But one thing's for sure, this marriage ain't looking as picture perfect as it used to. It's not just drama anymore. It's a full-blown culture war. Team Nicki versus Team Keyshia. The internet's split right down the middle, and Gucci, he's staying silent through all of it. But there's a strange, eerie layer that most people completely missed. When Keyshia launched her Kaware Cosmetics line, fans noticed something that made their jaws drop. Her promo shoots looked exactly like Nicki's Pink Friday era. The same latex-style suits, the same pink-heavy Barbie color palette, even the same poses. Now that people are resurfacing those old side-by-side pics, it's impossible to unsee. Keyshia's literally mirroring Nicki's signature looks. Some fans are saying her obsession runs deep, claiming she's modeling herself after Nicki's whole image of power. A glamorous woman who dominates her man publicly but operates like a boss behind the scenes. Except this time, Nicki's hinting that what looks like empowerment might really be manipulation. And when Nicki says, "The buck stops here," it doesn't sound like a random rant anymore. It sounds like a warning. That's not just anger in her tone. It's the kind of threat that comes when someone's ready to drop receipts. If Nicki really has proof, old texts, studio footage, or Brick Squad-era convos, it could reopen some of Atlanta's messiest industry wounds. Remember, Gucci once publicly apologized to Nicki, Drake, and Rick Ross, blaming his wild disses on a manic episode. But now, Keyshia's on record saying she controls his online access. So fans are asking, who's really behind Gucci's words these days? Him or Keyshia pulling the strings? Now the situation's a whole spectacle. Nicki throwing subliminals, Keyshia flexing Gucci on social media, and Gucci's memoir quietly climbing the charts thanks to all this chaos. But one thing's for sure, this isn't just jealousy. It's about control, image, and influence. And if Nicki decides to unleash more receipts, it could blow the lid off what really goes down inside these so-called power couples running the industry.